Aloha, I'm Jim Stacy, and welcome to the Tiki Show. Today, we're going to visit Tiki Tango, Atlanta's only three-story tiki bar, with the designer, Frank Simotics, the Tiki Rancher, and he's going to tell us how he built the place. And a little bit later on, we're going to learn how to make my favorite tiki drink, the FogCutter.
Aloha, my name is Frank, the Tiki Rancher. We're here in Tiki Tango today, and we're going to explore the bar that I just finished completing. We did everything from the tikis themselves, to the lava walls, to the lights, to these giant columns. So when designing Tiki Tango, it was quite a challenge in the beginning because it was a giant black box that was here for 20 years. So when I got in here, everything was painted black or purple and velvet walls and just disgusting. So it's a 1925 bungalow house that's been many things over the years, and now I'm celebrating the history of it because we have wallpaper that's done with deco styling, and we've got mid-century modern, and then we've got the modern, and then we've got the primitive tiki. This is a coup carving. It's a Washingtonian palm, and I got it out of Florida, out of Orlando. A buddy of mine's a tree trimmer because they don't grow up here. And this is the first thing I wanted to do when I first got the job to do this project was I had this wall in mind with lava, and I wanted to create like a tiki shrine. The thing about palm trees, which is harder to carve than cedar, is the grain, it's a grass. So you have to be very careful how deep you can go before it starts coming apart on you. But certain palms work great for tikis. Washingtonian's one of them. Queen palms, not so much. The lava wall, this was originally a white brick wall when I started. It wasn't even real brick, it was fake brick. And I searched high and low, every rock place I could find in Atlanta, the Southeast, Florida, everywhere. Could not find chunks of lava I wanted big enough. So I ended up going up to Home Depot and ordering it online, and they shipped it straight here, 1,000 pounds of lava. And then behind it, we have 650 abalone shells. It took me forever because each one I had to hold for 45 seconds before it would stick. We have a couple large columns over here that are a Kanaloa and a Lono, which are both Hawaiian tiki gods. Kanaloa is the tiki god of the underworld. He's just kind of a yin and yang because the Lono is the god of fertility and love. But these tikis are interesting because I had to use cedar because there's a column behind them, so they're actually hollow. So I had to build them boxes first, and then I'd carve them, and then I had to assemble them here and finish carving them in the back parking lot. Each one of these was at least 60 hours. So it was a long process to get these in place, but well worth it. The Tiki Bar is all about layers, and it's about lighting and different elements that take the person somewhere else. Because the nice thing about a tiki bar is exploring all the different places you can go. Have a drink, relax, forget about your job.
Oh, asking bottle, and the spirits contained within. What will I be drinking tonight, I wonder?
Let me guess, you're gonna ask for a FogCutter.
I'll have a FogCutter! Okay, folks, let's talk about a FogCutter. Now, this is a Vic Bergeron original from Trader Vic's, and this is my favorite drink to have at Trader Vic's here in Atlanta. You could cut me open and count the FogCutter rings inside of me because I've had thousands of them there. Now, this is what a FogCutter is made in usually. It's a FogCutter glass. This is one from Trader Vic's, and it echoes the cover of the menu, and I love holding this glass. I love drinking out of this glass. I look really good drinking out of it. It's my favorite type of mug to drink out of. It fits in the hand well, keeps my drink cold, and it does its job, which makes me merry and bright and more handsome and funnier the more of these I have. Here's another thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about different types of ice. There's cubed ice, there's flaked ice, there's pearl ice. For a FogCutter, I like to use a pearl ice like this, and the good thing about it is you don't have to have a pearl ice machine. You can buy that stuff from a lot of different fast food restaurants. There's one that particularly sells chicken that I'm not going to give any free ad time to, but you can buy it in 5-pound bags from them. So let's talk about making one. Now, usually you would use a Puerto Rican light rum. I, however, love using El Dorado, and I use an El Dorado 5 in it because there's so much other stuff in there you don't need to use anything above this. This is one of my favorite rums as well. I love this. I love Smith & Cross. I'm a real fan of the kind of funky Jamaican taste, and whereas it would usually be a Puerto Rican rum in here that's light and a little less funky, I really dig it, especially because I'm always using fresh squeezed juices, and I feel like it needs that to stand up to it. All right, so we're going to start off with a full 2-ounce pour, of that beautiful rum. Now, we're gonna pour brandy, and this is gonna be an ounce of this brandy. And I believe this is E&J. I'm not a brandy expert by any means, but it works out fine for my fog cutters. Now, we're gonna use a ½ ounce of gin. I drink so little gin that the only time I have it, it's in a fog cutter, so I just use whatever I have in the liquor cabinet. This bottle is a handle that my buddy's aunt died, and it was her handle that I got willed, and it's lasted me, I think, 10 years because I pour it ½ an ounce at a time. So that's a true story. In fact, thanks Mee-Maw. And then an ounce of orange juice. I only use fresh squeezed orange juice. Again, it's easy to squeeze, easy to do. But if you're gonna use a commercial orange juice, look for Natalie's, look for Indian River. Don't use anything with Simply in the name because it's not good juice. If you've never had a fog cutter made with fresh juice, it's a completely different animal. All right, we're gonna use 2 ounces of lemon here. Squeeze your lemons. Don't use it out of a plastic lemon. Then we have Orgeat. It's up to you as to what you want to use. This is Giffard's. This is what I like if it's going to be a commercial consumer Orgeat. Usually I'd make my own. It's really easy to make yourself. If you're allergic to tree nuts, you can make it out of avocado pits, which I have a great recipe for that. Just reach out and give you an avocado pit Orgeat recipe that's really easy to do. It's delicious. You can make it out of cashews. You can make it out of pumpkin seeds. So anything, any nut or pit or seed that's not a bitter pit or a bitter nut makes a great Orgeat. We're gonna do ½ an ounce of that because this stuff is super sweet. And that's the entire contents. Pour it off into our glass. Mint, express it. Express your mint there. Homemade brandied cherry. A little piece of pineapple there. A straw. And our final thing is a float of sherry. This is golden sherry. Cream sherry can be called for. I had golden sherry around, don't use cooking sherry. And for my favorite drink, one of my favorite vintage pieces, an old vintage Minahoonie from the downtown Atlanta Trader Vic's. And that, folks, is my favorite tiki drink, the FogCutter. Cheers. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up.